Okay, so we will discuss few algebra here. The first equation, minus p minus 2q plus 2p minus q. So we can see here p minus p and plus 2p, they're uh, the same because it's p's. So minus p plus 2p means you have 1 minus 1p here and plus 2p. So the resultant would be plus p. Why? Because this is minus 1 plus 2. Answer is 1. So you can think in the number line as well. So if you start from minus 1, you jump 2 times here, then 0 and 1. So the 1 is answer. So similarly, so you can write here. So minus p plus 2p, it's going to be 1p plus 1p. And then minus 2q minus q, minus 2q minus q is minus 3q. That will be the answer for that. So similarly, if you have p squared minus q squared plus 2p squared plus 3q squared. So you can see here 1p squared, here 2p squared. So 1p squared, 2p squared. It's like 1 dog plus 2 dogs. So it's like 3 dogs, 3p squared. Then here you have minus 1 q squared plus 3q squared. So it's like q squared, you can say cat. So minus 1 cat plus 3 cats. So it's going to be plus 2 cats. So it's easy. So C, if you have minus 5 plus a minus 2 minus 3a. So you can see here plus a minus 3a, they are same kind. So plus 1a minus 3a, it's going to be minus 2a. And then minus 5 minus 2, their numbers is just minus 7. Okay, so the next question, question number D. If you have p squared minus q plus 2p squared minus 3q, you can see here these two are similar terms and these two are similar terms. So if you check these two, so that's going to be 3p squared, similar terms. And then if you check minus q and minus 3q, so it's minus q minus 1q minus 3q is going to be minus 4q. So that's all about it. And if you have something like minus p squared minus q squared minus 3p squared minus 3q squared, so then again you will see minus p squared minus 3p squared is going to be minus 4p squared, and then minus q squared minus 3q squared, they are similar kind, so that would be minus 4q squared. Now last question, if you go to minus 6 plus p squared minus 2 minus 2p squared plus 1 plus q squared, something like that. So then we'll see minus 6 plus 1 minus 2, they are similar kind. So that would be minus 6 minus 2 minus 8 plus 1 is going to be minus 7. Then plus p squared minus p squared, they're similar kind. So minus p squared minus 2p squared, they're similar kind. So answer would be minus p squared. Then q squared is alone. So you just copy that. So that is how you do these arithmetic operations, addition and subtraction. Now, if you have multiplication, for example, a multiplied by p multiplied by a multiplied by p, then you will see here a times a is a squared, because we know that a times a is a squared and p times p is p squared And if you have a times p, a multiplied by p, it's going to be just ap. And if you have a squared multiplied by p squared, it's just a squared p squared when it comes to letters. So p times p is going to be p squared. So you can write this one as a squared p squared. It's pretty easy. So B, if you have 2a times 3a, so when you have something like that, in between you have multiplication. So a times a is a squared, and then 2 times 3, it's going to be 6. So that's the answer. And then question number C, if you have 2a multiplied with 5 divided by 2a multiplied with p and multiplied with p divided by 2. So now you can see the denominators are 1 here. So when you have a multiplication, we do direct multiplication. P times p is p squared, 1 times 2, it's going to be 2. So it's going to be p squared divided by 2. Multiplication, and that is this multiplication over here. Then a times a, it's going to be a squared. Then 2 times 5, it's going to be 10. And then 1 times 2, it's going to be 2 here. So this is going to be the answer. If you want, you can further simplify. P squared divided by 2 multiplied with this guy, you can simplify. It would be 5. So it's going to be 5a squared. So you can say 5 divided by 2 p squared a squared. So that would be the final answer. Question number D, 5 divided by 3a multiplied with 3 divided by 4a. So if you have that, a times a is multiplied together, it's going to be a squared. Then 5 times 3, it's going to be 15. And then 3 times 4 is going to be 12. So it's pretty easy. And if you have 3 divided by 2a multiplied with 4 divided by 5p, again, it's true that you have multiplication here, you have 1 and 1 here. Yeah, so a and p you can't multiply. I mean, you can multiply, but you have to say it's ap, right? They're different letters. Then 3 times 4, and it's going to be 12. And 2 times 1 is 2. And then 5 times 1 is 5. So 2 times 5 is going to be 10. So if you want to simplify further, so you can say 6 ap divided by 5. And that's all about that. Now, combination of all these things, what I have taught you here, can be seen in fraction, addition, and subtraction. For example, if you have 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 2p plus 1 divided by 2a. First of all, we will check number to number. So you have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. You don't have to do any change. Number to number is not different. Now, letter to letter. So you have p here, you have a here, you have nothing, right? So what you have to do is you multiply this by a. You multiply a by p here, and then you multiply 2 by a and p, ap. AP means a multiplied by p, right? So then you get denominator, you get 2 AP. Numerator, you get 1 AP plus 1a plus 1p. So you can write this one AP plus a plus p divided by 2 AP, and that would be the answer. Then if you have a question like 1 divided by p squared plus 1 divided by 2p. So we have to understand what is p squared. P squared is p times p. Then when you go with number to number, so you have 2 here, it's 1 here. So you multiply by 2 to get the common value there, 2. Then letter to letter. So here you have p times p. To make p times p in the other one, multiply by p. So if you do so, denominator, in the denominator you have 2p squared. So you have 2 here because that is this. and then plus 1 times p is p. So answer would be 2 plus p divided by 2p squared. Okay, so now if you have a question like this, 1 divided by 2p plus 1 divided by 3a. So this is very easy. If you check number to number, you have two different numbers. So you multiply the first one by 3 and then the other one by 2. Then you get here 3 divided by 6p plus 2 divided by 6a. Now you can see number to number is matching, but letter to letter is not matching. So what you do, you multiply by a, the other one you multiply by b. So if you do so, you get here 3a divided by 6ap, and then the other one would be 2p divided by 6ap. So now you can see common, we have the common denominator. So it will be 6ap here. So 3a plus 2p. So that would be the answer. Now these two you can't add. Why? Because this is like 3 dogs plus 2 cats. You can't add. They are not same. They are not the similar. So now if we have a question like this, which is 1 divided by p plus 1 divided by q plus 1 divided by a. So now if you check all of these denominators, they are not equal to each other. So if you want to have a common denominator here, what you have to do is you have to multiply p by q and q by p and a by p and q, right? So you have to do the same thing in the numerator. So that's what we have to do here. So knowing that, I'm going to multiply this would be PAQ here. So it's going to be QA plus PAQ plus PQ divided by PAQ. So answer would be QA plus PA plus PQ divided by PAQ. So that's the answer. So you can't further simplify this one. Why? Because they are not equal to each other. So this would be the final answer. Now, if you have another question like this, 1 divided by a squared minus 1 divided by 3a. Now, if you have a question like that, number to number, so it's going to be 3 here, 1. So you multiply by 3. Then letter to letter, so you have a squared here, which is a times a. So you multiply this by a. So you can see the number to number, letter to letter, satisfaction. So it would be 3a squared. That would be your common denominator. Top you have 3 minus 1a is a. So this is 3 minus a divided by 3a squared, and that would be the answer. So you can't simplify this anymore because this is a number, this is a letter. So you can't simplify those. Similar things only you can simplify. Now, another one, if you have 2 divided by p plus 3 divided by a. So now you have letters here in the denominator. So you have to match letter to letter. So you multiply by a, and then you have to multiply by p like this. So if you do so, so you get ap here. Then on top you have 2a plus 3p. And that would be the answer. So you can't simplify this anymore. You can't simplify that anymore because this is like 2 cats plus 3 dogs. So that will be it. So hope you understand how to do algebraic simplifications.